guys, it's me Triple G and welcome back to another video. Today we are continuing on with how to make your own prosthetic at home. If you haven't seen part 1, click right here. In that video I showed you guys how to make the mixture and the actual shaping of the prosthetic, and in this video I will show you guys how you actually apply it, and I will do a time lapse of me actually making it come to life with makeup. So let's get right into it, guys. For this part of making your prosthetic, I will show you guys a couple of things you'll definitely need. You'll definitely need some paintbrushes, preferably smaller sized ones, for this specific prosthetic at least, because if you've watched part 1 of this video, we made a smaller prosthetic, so you won't need huge brushes. You'll definitely need a fluffy powder brush, and you'll definitely need some setting powder. Another thing you'll need is definitely paint, duh. I will be using these grease paints today, and I will also be using my alcohol activated paint. There is this sticker on top of it, but it's by Illustrator, and you won't necessarily need this. I will just be using this today. And you'll also need some either foundation or concealer, especially if you don't have that alcohol activated paint, because in this palette it has skin tone colors, and we'll be using that today. I might also still use a little bit of this, but either way, both is good. Of course, blood, scab blood, of course blood, scab blood, and regular blood. A stipple sponge, and adhesive. Today we are using the Mayron Spirit Gum. You could also just use liquid latex as well, but I'll get more into depth about which one to use and which one is more better than other. We'll get into that later. Alright guys, let's get right into the video. Okay, so we let this set. This specific prosthetic actually got done setting about a couple of hours after we finished. I let it set overnight, and then it's also been like a full day today. Today currently is the day before Halloween. So happy Halloween, guys, because this is coming out on Halloween. Yeah. All right. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to start creating a lip to start peeling. And once you've gotten this little bit of lip right here, before we fully continue, we are going to put a little bit of setting powder. Well, not a little bit, but like a good generous amount. This is why we want a fluffy brush to really get in those craters and any kind of like wrinkles or whatever. We want to fully coat this, because once you start to peel the prosthetic up, it'll start sticking to like all of it, and it's hard to like unstick it. So that's why you see right here, see, and it's creating like a hole right there. We do not want that on all of it. I just did that so it's easy to give me a guide to peel the rest of it. So make sure it's powdered really well. So now that we have powdered our surface, we're going to go right into starting to peel all of this up. So you're going to very carefully start inching this up, and as you peel, have your powder ready on the side, because as you peel, you want to get powder up under there as well. Be very careful, because we did make these edges thin for a very good reason. This probably wasn't a good idea to do nails today, put these press-ons on specifically in this video, because it is starting to rip. Just be very careful and take your time. So once you have reached the actual base of the prosthetic, really start dusting. Get a whole bunch under there. Doesn't matter if it's a lot, you can dust it away later. Okay, so now that we have our prosthetic completely free, you're going to check your edges, make sure it's smooth, and on non-smooth areas, we're just going to take some scissors. We're going to take some scissors and cut a little bit of those raggedy edges off, because that will prevent it from looking smooth, of course. but don't cut too much off either, because you don't want to be like right along the edges. You want a little bit of lip. So we're just gonna cut a little bit of this off right here. All right guys, now that we have cut off the rugged edges off of our prosthetic, as you can see, in some spots it did get a little closer than I wanted it to, but it's okay. And if that happens to you, don't freak out. It's still gonna work how it's supposed to. I just like having a little bit of extra lip, so it's more to work with, but it's still gonna work how it's supposed to, and it's still simple to put on. All right, we're gonna get right into applying our prosthetic. Today, I thought it would be great to put it on my hand, and it's so. I'm going to map out exactly the positioning I would want it, like what I want it going across my hand like this, or what I want it to go across my hand like this, or whatever you would want it to fall, especially if you have a specific prosthetic with a specific like direction. You would want to make sure, of course, put it in that direction. But today I'm going to be applying it like this. And the adhesive I am using today, like you saw earlier, I will be using the Mayron Spirit Gum that you saw earlier. And if you don't have Spirit Gum, you can also use more liquid latex. Not globs of it, just make sure you like layer it easily, like thinly at a time. Don't just put a whole bunch of thick layers. But if you go that route, just like I said in the last video, make sure you're not leaning over and your hair is getting all like in the way, because liquid latex is hard to get out. But anyway, if you're working with Spirit Gum, on the other hand, you either can apply straight to your skin first and then lay your prosthetic on top, or apply to the prosthetic first and then lay it on your skin, or both, whichever one works best for you, whichever one feels more comfortable to you. Today I think I'm going to apply it on both, because I want to make sure I get a secure bondage. And with Spirit Gum, you want to make sure before you start firmly applying your prosthetic or whatever you're using Spirit Gum with, make sure it's a little tacky. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you put it on too wet, it's going to take longer to dry, and it could become a low-key disaster. So just make sure it's tacky, kind of like when you're putting on false eyelashes. You want to wait till it gets a little tacky before you put it on. Same thing. And today I'm going to be applying the Spirit Gum around the edges and a little bit on the center of my hand. So we're going to go in and do that. Now that it is a little tacky, we're going to go ahead and apply. I'm going to start on one end and lightly lay it over. And make sure you keep in mind of the little edges that you have sticking out. Of course, make sure glue is on there, and if it isn't sticking good enough for you, you can just like lift it and put it on there. Also make sure that you are holding down, especially on some edges that might be being a little stubborn. Hold down as it dries. Especially if you applied a little more right there. Give it about a minute or two. Listen to some music, watch a little video or something. You can watch one of my videos, another one of my videos. I will put a link up for an extra video you can watch while you're doing this, of course, until, after you're done watching this video, of course. But while you're waiting for this to dry, you know, put a little something. Okay, now that your Spirit Gum has set, or at least has pretty much set, you can tell, like if you have a little bit on the edge, it's pretty much dry, or it's very, very sticky, and this isn't going anywhere. But for some extra security, I'm going to put a thin layer of liquid latex around the edges to really like lay down some of those edges and to create a smooth surface in between our skin and the edge of the prosthetic. So I'm going to go in and do that really fast. I like to do like a swipe motion when doing this, like this. Don't put too much on your sponge. at a time. We're not putting it all over, we're just putting it around the very edges of our prosthetic. And if you want to build more, you can come back and build more. Just don't put a lot around the edges at once, is what I mean. And also, as you're putting each layer of your liquid latex at this time, give it a chance to dry a little before you put another layer. Alright guys, this is exactly how your liquid latex will look once it's dried. It's clear, and in some areas you see it got a little more brown on the edges, like I was saying earlier, and it's a little tacky. And what we're going to do to get rid of that tack is dust on some more setting powder. Okay guys, so the next step that we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be a little extra, and this little extra is what's really going to make this blend into your skin tone, not into your skin tone, into your skin, and make it look really realistic, like it's really actually happening. So we're going to get into some scar wax actually, and we're going to build around this perimeter right here, and then we're going to blend it into our skin tone. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that real quick. Alright guys, check-in time. I will explain exactly what I've done so far. You saw me putting on the scar wax around the entire perimeter, and this is like semi-finished product of that. And what I did was I put a layer of liquid latex, 2 thin layers of liquid latex around the edges of the scar wax. And what that'll do, that helps give more hold, especially if you're planning on wearing this for copious amount of time. Make sure you put your layers of adhesive as you go, because you do not want this to lip or rip off or whatever the case may be. Also, on this step right here, we're going to put some more setting powder all over it, all over the edges where we added more liquid latex. So make sure you do that, guys.
Alright guys, and this is our final product. Well, this is the final product, as y'all just saw. Let me try to get it to, I'm trying to get it to catch the light for you guys. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at it. And that was the end of our DIY prosthetic. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it was easy to follow. Let me know what you would love to see next, makeup wise and gaming wise. I'm always looking for more suggestions and new suggestions. I hope you guys have a great and safe Halloween. Please be careful out there. A lot of shenanigans be happening, you know. But have a great time, and until next time. Oh, and also make sure you check these videos out here, you guys. Both great, both entertaining, and yeah. And until next time, bye.